Flowers can amaze us with strange shapes, vivid colors, and astonishing stories. From giant blooms that smell like rotting meat to tiny trap-like flowers, the plant world is full of surprises. In this short tour, we will meet some of Earth's most incredible flowers, explain what makes each one unique, and reveal the clever ways they survive and attract pollinators. Ready to discover nature's strangest floral oddities? Number 22. Corpse flower. Meet the Titan arum, a plant that looks like a floral volcano and smells like a disaster. Deep in Sumatra, this rare giant stages one of nature's most dramatic shows. When it blooms, a tall column rises from its center, while a huge dark red sheath unfurls around it, glossy and rough, almost like raw meat. You smell it before you see it. The scent is like rotting flesh mixed with hot trash. That stench is not a mistake. It is an evolutionary trick. Flies and beetles, drawn by the smell, rush inside and carry pollen from one plant to another. The bloom's life is brief and intense. In just 1 or 2 days, the giant flower opens, completes its work, and then collapses. For anyone lucky enough to witness it, the Titan arum is unforgettable. A short, shocking performance at the jungle's edge, where beauty and decay meet in one enormous bloom. Number 21. Monkeyface orchid. This is the monkeyface orchid. At first glance, it feels like a trick of the mind, a tiny face staring back at you from the forest. Deep in the cloud forests of the Andes, a strange little flower perches on tree branches instead of growing in soil. Look closer, and the illusion becomes unmistakable. 3 long sepals trail like tails, while the inner petals and lip form what looks like eyes, a nose, and even a smiling mouth. Sometimes that tiny face is so uncanny it makes you laugh. It takes moisture from mist and rain and anchors to trunks with soft roots. You will find it between 1,000 and 2,000 meters above sea level in Ecuador and Peru, where the air is cool, the light is thin, and everything is shaded and damp. The monkeyface orchid also surprises with its unique scent, a bright, fresh orange note that helps lure the right pollinators through the fog. It does not rush. Flowers can open at any time of year, appearing one after another, so a single tree may carry blooms for months. In a world of loud colors and dramatic shapes, this quiet orchid survives in the shadows. It asks for a little, cool mist, filtered light, and a spot to hang. And in return, it gives one of nature's most curious faces. Number 20. Peony. Peonies, often called the king of flowers, have captivated people for thousands of years. In China, they stand for beauty and power. The name comes from Greek myth. Peon, a healer of the gods, was turned into a flower to save him. That old story adds a quiet, heroic note to the peony's beauty. At first glance, a peony looks soft. Silk-like petals fold into large, lush blooms. Look closer, and you notice strength as well. The sturdy stems that hold those heavy flowers. Colors range from pale pink to deep red, with coral, white, and rare yellows. Many settle into a blush pink that seems almost perfect. One blossom can scent an entire garden. A single flower usually lasts 7 to 10 days. Peonies grow across Asia, Europe, and North America. Growers have developed more than 4,500 varieties, each with its own shape or hue. They remind us that beauty can be both bold and fleeting, an elegant moment worth pausing for. Number 19. Ghost orchid. Have you ever seen a flower that seems to float in midair? Meet the ghost orchid. In the humid swamps of Florida, Cuba, and the Bahamas, a pale white bloom appears to hover among tree trunks. So delicate, it almost seems unreal. The ghost orchid has almost no leaves. Silvery, thread-like roots cling to tree bark and take in moisture and light from the air. Its petals look like a small pale ghost drifting against the dark wood. This orchid is an epiphyte, which means it does not grow in soil. It depends on high heat, heavy humidity, and very specific host trees to survive. Outside its swampy home, it rarely thrives. Sightings are rare, and finding one feels like discovering a legend. That mystery, along with habitat loss and poaching, makes the ghost orchid one of the most mysterious and vulnerable flowers on Earth. Number 18. Middlemist Red. The rarest flower in the world hides a quiet story. People call it the Middlemist Red even though it is not truly red. Its blooms are a deep, velvet pink, small and perfect against glossy green leaves. The plant did not originate in England. In 1904, this camellia arrived from China as a prized treasure. Over time, it disappeared from its homeland, and today only 2 known plants remain. One at Chiswick House in London, and the other in a public garden in New Zealand. It blooms in late winter from January through April, unfolding like a secret that waits out the cold. People travel long distances just to see it. They stand in silence, as if observing something fragile and irreplaceable. The Middlemist Red feels like a memory, a quiet warning about how delicate beauty can be and how easily it can vanish. Number 17. Black Bat Flower. The black bat flower is a living mystery. In the dim shade of Malaysian forests, it hides like a secret, and at first glance, you might mistake it for a tiny creature rather than a plant. People call it the devil flower or the cat whiskers, and some say it looks like a bat caught mid-flight. Its blossoms are a deep purple so dark they seem almost black, and each one can open to a span of 12 inches. Broad bracts spread like wings, while a cluster of maroon-black petals gathers at the center. Long, thin, whisker-like filaments hang and sway, giving the plant an eerie, otherworldly presence. The black bat flower reaches for humid warmth and rich, damp soil, and it shuns harsh sun. Bright, indirect light is its ally because direct sun will scorch its leaves. In the wild, it waits patiently in the cool understory, its strange form and dangling threads silently drawing pollinators near. Rare and unforgettable, it is a shadow that blooms, a small drama unfolding on the forest floor. Number 16. Hooker's Lips. The rainforest keeps secrets that feel like dreams. Far beneath the canopy, a plant opens and makes you look twice. 2 bright red shapes sit like a pair of lips. People call it hot lips or girlfriend kiss. Scientists call it hooker's lips. Those red lips appear just before the plant blooms. They are not petals. They are special leaves called bracts, and small white flowers slip out from between them. The display is quick and dramatic. For a short while, the forest glows deep red. Hooker's lips grows across Central and South America. Its color draws hummingbirds and butterflies close. They come for the nectar and leave with pollen. The plant uses beauty like a stage light, inviting visitors to play their part. Up close, the lips look almost human. From a distance, they stop you in your tracks. In a place where many plants hide, this one chooses to perform. It is strange, bold, and unforgettable. Number 15. Rafflesia arnoldii. Rafflesia arnoldii is a showstopper. In the damp rainforests of Sumatra and Borneo, this giant flower looks like something from a dream or a nightmare. It can reach nearly 3 feet across and weigh up to 24 pounds, a size that is impossible to forget. But Rafflesia's fame goes beyond its size. It smells like rotten meat, a stench that lures flies and beetles searching for a carcass. Instead, they find the flower and unwittingly carry its pollen to the next bloom. Rafflesia does not photosynthesize. It lives hidden inside the roots of a specific vine, tetrastigma, and appears only when it is ready to bloom. When it opens, the moment is dramatic and painfully brief. Each flower lasts only 5 to 7 days before it wilts and collapses back into the forest floor. Seeing one in full bloom is as rare and unforgettable as spotting a Sumatran tiger. No wonder Rafflesia arnoldii is celebrated across Indonesia as a short-lived, strange, and unforgettable marvel of nature. Number 14. White egret orchid. The white egret orchid appears to lift itself into the air. At first glance, it resembles a white egret caught in mid-wingbeat. Each blossom is thin and immaculate, like a small bird poised to take flight. This rare orchid grows in Japan, Korea, China, and far eastern Russia. In the summer, the plants fill the air with snowy white forms. From a distance, a patch of them looks like a flock of doves rising together. Up close, the petals are fragile and pure. A faint, gentle perfume sometimes drifts from the flowers. People call it magnificent, and stories and legends cling to its beauty. But beauty demands a price. The white egret orchid is vanishing quickly. Once common in quiet forests and along marsh edges, it now faces threats from habitat loss and from collectors. What was a living poem in the wild is fading before our eyes. Seeing one feels like a rare gift. It reminds us that fragile wonders require our care. If we act now, we may still save this elegant ghost of a flower. Number 13. Blue Himalayan Poppy. The Himalayan blue poppy feels like mountain magic. It grows where the air is thin and the world presses close to the sky. There, between 2,000 and 5,000 meters, the flower opens like a fragment of the blue above. Its petals are silky and a true blue. In the center, a small cluster of golden stamens gleams like a coin. That rare blue comes from the way the petal pigments react to cold soil and the sharp mountain light. This poppy is particular. It dislikes heat and dry air. It prefers cool temperatures, steady moisture, and rich, well-drained soil. It does not live long. Most plants survive 2 to 3 years, bloom in late spring or early summer, and then fade. People call it one of the most beautiful and mysterious flowers in the world. When it blooms, the mountain slopes feel a little more like a dream. Number 12. Protea. The Protea stands as a symbol of change. Not the tidy garden bloom you might expect, but something older, almost primeval. Fossils show that members of this family were flowering when dinosaurs still ruled the land. Today, the King Protea, South Africa's national flower, rises across the Cape Floristic region, proud and unmistakable. Proteas took their name from Proteus, the Greek god who shifted his form, because their shapes and sizes are wildly diverse. Many species are tuned to fire. Their seeds sit protected underground or sealed inside tough cones until a wildfire clears the way. After the flames pass, new life surges up through the ash. They also produce abundant sweet nectar, which earned them the nickname sugar bushes, and draws birds and insects like magnets. Look closely, and you will see a plant shaped by time, heat, and relentless change. The Protea is more than a flower. It is a living echo of the planet's long history. Number 11. Parrot's beak. This is Lotus bertholati, often called parrot's beak. It does not grow in jungles. It clings to cliffs and balconies. A small, bright flash against gray stone. Native to the Canary Islands and the Cape Verde Islands, it was shaped by relentless wind and sun. The plant trails like a ribbon from hanging baskets, its thin, silver-gray leaves hugging the stem. Then the flowers arrive, sickles shaped like tiny parrot beaks in shocking red, orange, or yellow. From spring into early summer, the blooms open one after another in a quick, fiery parade. Gardeners prize it for its bold color and graceful habit. Give it strong light, full sun, or bright partial shade, and it will put on its best show. In low light, the spectacle fades. Left out in the open with the sky above, parrot's beak is small, fierce, and unforgettable. Number 10. Chocolate Cosmos. This is the chocolate cosmos, a flower that seems as if it belongs in a dream. From a distance, the blooms appear almost black. In sunlight, they glow deep burgundy, mahogany, and velvet red. The petals feel soft and rich, like crushed velvet, held on tall, graceful stems above delicate fern-like leaves. Cut to a slow pan of several flowers, then a sniff or point-of-view shot. On a warm summer afternoon, the garden reveals its secret, a faint scent of dark chocolate. It is subtle, more an invitation than a shout. Gardeners and florists value the plant for that quiet magic. Show a planting and soil close-up, then a wide shot of the planted bed. The chocolate cosmos grows about 40 to 60 centimeters tall and needs full sun for its flowers to open. Planted in loose, well-draining soil. Keep the soil evenly moist and avoid letting the roots sit in water. Insert a somber close-up with soft music. There is a sad part to its story. The chocolate cosmos is extinct in the wild. All living plants descend from a single wild collection made in 1902. Since then, gardeners and growers have preserved the species through cuttings and careful cultivation. End with a final cinematic shot of the flower in a bouquet or garden. Today, whether in beds or bouquets, the chocolate cosmos still steals the scene. Its dark blooms and quiet scent make people pause to stop, look, and breathe a little deeper. Number 9. Dancing Girls, Orchid. The Dancing Lady. Orchid stops you in your tracks and makes you smile. Its petals and lip curve with such grace that from across the clearing, the whole flower becomes a woman caught mid-twirl, her dress billowing around a branch. Most dancing lady orchids wear yellow flowers, though some hybrids will surprise you with bright red blooms. Even more curious, a rare look-alike from the Balsamanaceae family can fool the eye, recalling a parrot or a cockatoo frozen in flight. You will find it surviving dry seasons from northern Mexico and the Caribbean, and continuing down through parts of South America. Gardeners have also introduced it around the world. The plant usually blooms for about 15 to 30 days in October and November, and for that brief window, the branches become a living dance floor. Want one in your home? Give it partial sun and keep it warm, between about 15 and 24 degrees Celsius. Number 8. Jade Vine. The jade vine seems born from a dream. In the rainforest, long clusters of jade green flowers hang like glass chandeliers, and birds and bees slow as they pass beneath them. Native to the Philippines, the twisting vine climbs toward the light, and when it blooms, the claw-shaped blossoms form dramatic hanging ropes. The color is astonishing, a bright turquoise so rare it feels almost unreal. Gardeners call it a botanical marvel. People travel to tropical gardens, greenhouses, and conservatories just to stand beneath its cascading blooms. The jade vine belongs to the legume family, with distant relatives such as peas, tamarind, and redbuds, but it is far more delicate and demanding than most. It is also rare and difficult to grow. The vine needs steady warmth, high humidity, and careful attention. For those who can meet its needs, the reward is unforgettable, a living chandelier that steals every scene. Number 7. Bleeding Heart. Valentine's Day brings hearts and roses, but in the Midwest, one heart waits for spring, the old-fashioned bleeding heart. Native to northern China, Korea, and Japan, this plant is officially Lamprocapnos spectabilis. Imagine arching stems like gentle bows. Along them hang rows of tiny pink hearts with white interiors, like carved paper lanterns swaying in a shady breeze. Their movement feels slow and musical. Bleeding hearts prefer cool, shaded spots such as woodland borders and shady garden beds. In late spring, they burst into bloom, filling the garden with delicate charm. When summer heat arrives, the plant often dies back to the ground. But do not worry, it returns the next spring with fresh green foliage and another parade of hearts. Simple, graceful, and quietly romantic, the bleeding heart is a springtime favorite in many gardens. Number 6. Rose. The rose sits at the center of so many stories, quiet and irresistible, heavy with meaning. One look and the message is already there. For thousands of years, people have carried roses across continents. From ancient Asia to European courts to the gardens of North America, travelers planted them, wrote about them, and sang about them. Those stories are what give the rose its sense of timelessness. Roses appear in many forms: low, fragrant shrubs and tall climbers that fall like curtains. There are more than 100 wild species and thousands of cultivated varieties. Different shapes, the same magnetism. Color changes the language. Deep red speaks of passion and lasting love. Yellow suggests friendship and fresh beginnings. Pink offers gratitude and gentleness. White means innocence and new starts. Each color tells its own story at a glance. Then there is scent. A single breath can unlock a memory, calm a restless mind, or fix a moment in time. Sometimes one rose is enough to bring a person, a place, or a day back to life. More than a flower, the rose is a symbol we all understand. It speaks of love, of comfort, and of the moments we carry in our hearts. Number 5. Kadupul flower. Some flowers perform like actors on a stage. Luminous, brief, unforgettable. None fit that role better than the Kadupul, a blossom seemingly made for a single night of glory. Called the Queen of the Night in Sri Lanka, this cactus flower blooms only after darkness falls. For a few hours it opens pale, fragile petals and releases a sweet, soothing perfume. By dawn it has vanished, wilted and already fading. That short life makes every bloom feel priceless. Villagers pass along quiet stories about the Kadupul. Some say heavenly beings come to gather its flowers for Buddha. Others use its petals in folk remedies to ease breathing trouble, slow bleeding, or dull pain. Those practices are local traditions, not proven cures, yet they show how deeply the flower is woven into daily life. Growing a Kadupul demands patience, warm nights, rich soil, and careful watering. You must be there at night to see the performance. People travel just to watch the white blossom open and disappear before morning. In that single night, the Kadupul leaves a memory that endures far longer than the flower itself. Number 4. Swaddled babies. In the high Andes, mist slides through the trees and soft light pours from the clouds. On the forest floor, a strange, gentle blossom unfolds like a tiny white cradle. This is the swaddled baby's orchid. Locals speak of its shape. Inside the flower, a curved lip and column resemble a baby wrapped in blankets. The petals are creamy and waxy, smooth as porcelain, and the whole plant can grow to nearly 2 feet tall. When it blooms in spring and summer, the orchid fills the air with a rich, sweet scent. Some say it carries a hint of cinnamon. That fragrance drifts through the mountain air, luring curious insects. The swaddled baby thrives where the world is thin and cool. It lives on slopes and forest floors high in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Venezuela, usually between about 1,400 and 2,500 meters above sea level. In those quiet places, the orchid is rare and precious. Up close, the flower feels alive with story, as if it were made to protect something small and fragile. In the hush of the Andes, this delicate bloom keeps its secret, waiting for sun, scent, and a passing visitor to carry on its quiet life. Number 3. Torch ginger. The jungle hides its secrets close, yet one stands out like a living flame. The torch ginger, Etlingera elacer. Rising on thick, cane-like stems, it can reach 2 to 4 meters, tall enough to read like a small tree in the understory. Its flower heads are bold, cone-shaped towers of layered petals in shades of pink, red, coral, or sometimes white, looking almost sculpted in color. Each bloom lasts for weeks, a bright marker against the green. Birds and large bees flock to those flowers, drawn by their shape, their color, and a faint, spicy scent. In many parts of Southeast Asia, people use the flower buds and young shoots in local cooking and salads, where they bring aroma and texture. In the right climate, it becomes a dramatic ornamental, the forest's own torch, lighting the floor with color. Number 2. Red spider lily. On the edge of a rice field, beneath an autumn hush, a burst of red appears, thin and tangled and impossible to ignore. This is the red spider lily. Its petals curl like spider legs, forming a lacework crown that seems to tremble even in still air. Up close, the bloom feels urgent and alive. The red is deep and arresting, the kind of color that makes you stop and look. In Japan, the red spider lily blooms around Heigan. When families remember the dead, you will find clusters of the flower near graves, where the bright red marks the line between the living and the lost. Over time, it became both beautiful and sorrowful, a symbol of farewell and memory. The flower's shape feeds that mystery. To some, it looks eerie, like a tiny red spider frozen mid-step, which is why it appears so often in stories about endings. Native to China, Korea, and Japan, the red spider lily now grows in many parts of the world. It prefers places with distinct seasons, hot summers that fade into cool autumns. So when it arrives, its color cuts across the landscape like a bright, final note. Beautiful and haunting, The red spider lily asks you to look twice, a bloom that carries both color and memory. Number 1. Passion flower. Passion flowers feel like small miracles. Their purple and white petals frame a fringed, starburst center that seems both wild and precise. Up close you can see the corona's filaments, the layered petals, and the round fruits called maypops. The vine climbs with thin tendrils, wrapping fences and trellises like reaching fingers. Leaves are deeply lobed on slender stems, green and intent. These vines bloom quickly and, from June through September, they light up gardens. Bees and butterflies arrive as if following a secret. People harvest the fruit to make syrups, jellies, and teas. The leaves and stems are traditionally steeped into a calming drink many gardeners reach for at night. With a sturdy trellis, passion flower becomes a living curtain, turning ordinary spaces into something exotic and tropical. In summer light, the plant becomes a quiet star. Passion flowers are more than a pretty face. They feed pollinators, offer edible fruit, and bring a cinematic beauty to any garden, the kind of detail that makes you stop and look.